SeeSaw is a wonderful tool to create a portfolio of learning. And if you just stop with it there, it's an amazing tool. Each student would have their own portfolio of growth, of experiences, of phenomenon, of creations throughout the whole year. But that's just starting to unleash the power of SeeSaw. SeeSaw is really a sharing medium as well, and how much or how little you choose to do is really dependent on the preferences you set up with SeeSaw. The first way we can share is student to student. So when you click on your name, you'll have that option to manage class. So when I choose manage class, the first category of options is called students. And with this, sharing is all about these last few things. So with student likes and comments, if I click on that, the default in SeeSaw is to allow students to comment and reflect on each other's work. So right now, students are able to like each other's work. It just puts a little heart next to the work for everybody who's liked it. They're able to comment on each other's work. And most importantly for me as a teacher, the comments do require your approval. I believe that this is a great way to foster good digital citizenship and to monitor how students are interacting with each other and what type of praise and polished feedback they're offering each other on their work. So these are all turned on automatically, but you can turn them off depending upon the needs of your learners. Similarly, if you want students to see each other's work, this would be turned on. If, however, you want students to only see the work in their portfolio, you can turn this off. Again, this can change throughout the year. You can turn it off one day if you want them to create something unique that nobody sees, and then turn it on the next day so then they can see each other's work. So you can turn this off and on as you need. But these two things allow you to create an environment in which students can see each other's work, like each other's work, interact with each other's work, and comment on each other's work, all in a very mediated and moderated format. Then you can open things up to parents. Enable parent access, you can turn on or off, and this will enable parents to link into their students' portfolio. Now, the invitations you create will allow the parent to only have access to their child's work that's been tagged with their child's name. So if you want to invite parents, you would go here. I've used the paper invite, but you can also send out an email. When you click print paper invites, it's going to create a PDF document for you, and it'll create a unique letter. Now it's going to automatically open up my printer, but I'll cancel that. It creates a unique letter for every student in your class. Now this particular class I arranged in teams. I didn't create student names, but this would say, Abigail Adams. And this is the unique sign-up letter for just that student that you could send home with the parent. And they download the account or they go to the website, and it gives them a particular address to log into their student's account, and then you would get a notification as a teacher to accept their request to access their student's portfolio. Now the parents don't have any editing capability. They can't add or delete anything, but what the parents can do is, if we go back to those options, the parents can comment and like the work. So when you go to, so this would be where you have any pending parent approvals, and this option here would allow you to turn on or off whether parents can see their child's portfolio, whether parents have that like button, if you want them to be able to like things, there's no dislike button, and whether you want the parent to be able to comment on the child's work. And again, the default is you do get to see the comment before the child does. And I've noticed students love this. They love to see if their parent puts a heart by the work and what comment the parent might have. So again, these are all options that you can add if you want to have parent access to the child's portfolio. Then, if you want to go one step further, there's a class blog. So you can turn that on to enable a class blog. Now, a class blog will create a particular website for your class. So let me call it Teacher Class 2. And again, I could call this whatever I want. Let's see, I can't use the word teacher. Okay, so how about example 2? Will that let me do that? Let's see. Blog URL, take it. Example 2020. How's that? Yes, that worked. Okay. So I would have like my class, Miss McDonald's first period, and I would create whatever URL I wanted to add to this. And then I would check it. A couple of options. Enable comments on the class blog. If you want anybody who goes to the blog to be able to add comments, you could turn that off or on. And password protect the blog. Depending on how you want to do this, you could have a password that students would need to, or people would need to enter before they could view the blog. And that's a wonderful option if you wanted to have a more contained environment where only certain people could access the blog. But I'll go ahead and check the default ones. So my blog is now set up. If I want to access it, that's the active website. So I'll go to there. Okay, nothing's on there yet. So then you say, okay, how do I add things to my blog? Okay, you see this globe icon. All right, so I can go to my feed view and let me scroll down to some things I have on here. Let's see. How about this set of data? Let's say I wanted to add this to my blog. As a teacher, I would click this button and it will go directly to the blog. If I were a student, I could click this button and it would let my teacher know, hey, I want to add this to the blog. Now, it wouldn't automatically be added until the teacher approved it. But as a teacher, if I click that, it'll publish it directly to the blog. So if I go over to my blog and reload it, poof, that's been added to the blog. Okay? And again, you can customize the blog in a lot of different ways, but it's a great way to share more publicly what your class is doing and to maybe publish their work in a format that allows them to interact with a broader audience. So again, depending on your levels, it can be a portfolio for just one student. It can be a portfolio that the student shares with everybody in their class. It can be a portfolio that the student shares with their parent. Or you could take what's created in SeeSaw and, based upon your choices, share it in a blog format.